Hi everyone, this video is going to explain how to get going in our online simulation that we're going to be working on for the next 6 weeks. In Schoology, you have an assignment called Marketplace Simulation Introduction, and there's a whole bunch of resources in there. The first thing that I'm going to walk you through is the introduction PowerPoint, and then I'm going to explain how to get into the simulation and what your expectations are for each week. I'm hoping this is a fun way to connect while we are virtually together. So with the simulation, here is what you are going to be doing. You are going to be basically running a technology company in which you are launching 3 different kinds of computers in a more of a business-to-business or personal selling situation. You won't have a retail store for this simulation. You're going to be designing a brand. You have 3 different options: desktop or laptop or a high-end desktop or laptop. You're going to be designing the ads that you want to run. You're going to be deciding where you want those ads run. You're going to be setting selling prices. You're going to be hiring and training salespeople, and you're going to be looking at the financial side of things. How are sales? How are your profits, etc. At the beginning of each quarter, you'll get new information, and then that information is also fed back to you. So you'll be working for a large international electronics firm, and you are going to enter the personal computer market for this. You are going to decide which of these 4 countries that you want to begin your sales in: North America, South America, Europe and Africa, or Asia. And you will be working directly with customers. It's business to business or personal selling. You won't have a retail office. So the 3 different categories, and this is what the simulation calls these categories. You're going to have the workhorse computer, which is sort of the affordable desktop. You're going to have the traveler, which is the laptop. And then you're going to have the option to choose Mercedes, which is the high-end either desktop or laptop, more for graphics or engineering needs. And then, as we said before, you're going to choose one of these 4 sales areas to begin in, and then you'll be able to expand to other regions as the game goes on. Because it's just you and your partner, they want you to choose different roles, but I'll just have you and your partner work together on these roles to make sure that you get all your decisions made each week by Friday. In the first quarter, you're going to be naming the company. You're going to figure out which market segment you want to start with: workhorse, which is the desktop; traveler, which is the laptop; or Mercedes, which is the high end. And you're going to open 1 sales office. As I said, there's a total of 6 quarters, and each quarter you have a new approach or strategy that you're doing. Then in quarter 3 and 4 and 5, you have different decisions that you are making. But then in quarter 6, that's your final quarter, and that's the one where you need to make sure everything is in place. So you will be evaluated on how you do financially and how you do against the other competitors in your market, and your competitors will be other classmates. These next couple slides were interesting. So once again, first quarter, you're going to name the company. You're going to look at the information you're given regarding different market segments. You're going to choose one of those market segments to focus on initially, and you're going to schedule the opening of 1 sales office in one of those 4 cities. Now, for quarter 1, you are going to decide who is going to be kind of in charge of making sure that you're always on task, and you're going to study the information given to you on segments, on target marketing, and on planning. So I will be able to monitor what you're doing each week. The decisions that you're making, are your decisions turned in on time? For quarter 1, it's pretty easy. So with that, now let's also look at the resources that you have to work with. Let's start with the grading. So I'm going to open this document next. Oops, close that. There we go. So this simulation is going to be worth a total of 100 points over the next 6 weeks. And so we'll start the April and we'll go through approximately mid-May. Our last decisions will be made on May 8th. And each week you get 10 points as long as your decisions are turned in. And when I sign in, I can see that each person in the team saved at least one decision. And once you're in the simulation, that'll make sense. Now, I'll go over this again when we get to the end of April, because you're actually going to share some research with me based on your analysis of what has gone on so far in the game and what your plans are for the future. And then finally, if you end up being first place in your game, you get 30 points, second place 25, third place 20, fourth place 15, and fifth place 10. So you basically get, as we're going through this, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points that are just completion points as long as you participate and save it at least one decision each week. And then the final 30 points are based upon how well you do. So that's how the decisions will be handled. And then I have also given you a breakdown for each quarter on this sheet of things to keep in mind, and especially quarter 5. When we get to that point, we'll go over it again, but that's a critical one because that's kind of your last chance to invest money into different either sales offices or new products or sales staff or whatever, because quarter 6 you can't really make any decisions since that's the final one. All right, so once again, we were just looking at the marketplace grading. Okay, now how do you log in? Well, the instructions are right here for the overall how to log in. Let's see, I thought I had opened that up, but I'll do it again. Oh, pardon me, that is what we were just looking at. Student sign up, there we go. So what you're going to do, this is the step-by-step instructions, and I have all the information for you, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. You're going to create a new account. You each have a license code. That's a one-time code for you to enter. You'll set up your username and password, and it'll tell you, and the information that I'm going to give you, it also tells you which game and which team you are in. Okay, but this is what to refer to with the step-by-step for more detailed information. Now, what I'm going to show you next is the student license code. And each student has, I had this set up for, already cut out on paper to hand out to each one of you. But based on the teams that you signed up for when that sheet of paper went around, it tells you, first of all, and I'm just going to look at Ryan, there's a link to get into the software, which I'm going to give you. You can do this on iPad or on a desktop. You have your name, and you'll notice each game is JWOLN-2020, either game C, game B, or game A. And the next important thing is you're given a game ID number, you're given a team number, and you're given a license number. Okay, so all of you will know who your partner is based on which game you're in and which team you're in. So for example, Griffin and Jack are in the same team, and so that's important that they both say their team number 2. And Jacob and Eric are in the same team. They are both team 3 as part of game C, and Garrett and Derek are partners in game C, team 4. But and continue. This sheet just goes on and on. So just look for your name, follow along, look for your name, and right below your name is all the specifics you will need to log in. Okay, I will encourage all of you to make connections with your partner. You might want to be online at the same time, or you might want to just say, hey, we've got to get this done by Friday. But make sure as you're in it, each student saves at least one decision each quarter, because that's how I know you'll be participating. And if you have individual questions on this or have troubles, by all means, Schoology message me and I will be available to help you, or email me. All right, so once you get in, there's a link to logging in right here. And when you click there, it's going to look like this. And this is my login information, but you're going to click on New Create Account as a student. And then you're going to type in, first of all, your personal information. I would encourage you to use your school's email. Maybe use your same school password so that you remember everything. And then obviously you are going to uphold all of the expectations of you working remotely and online. And then when you go to create your account, this isn't going to work for me because I don't have any information put in, but that's where it's going to ask you to let's see, there we go. That's where it's going to ask you to enter. For example, if I were Carrick, I'll be entering that I'm in the JWall 2020B game. The game ID is this number. I am Team 3, and this is my license code. And you can copy and paste these in. They are case sensitive, so you will need to put the letters in all caps. You will need to enter the hyphens when you do that. And then you do that one time, and from that point forward, then the next times that you come in, you will go ahead and just sign in with your school email and the password that you've created. So when you sign in now, I'm going to go to a past game here. So it's going to look like this. And at the beginning of each quarter, you are going to have a little video that you watch that gives you some information for that quarter. So this is quarter 1 here, so that you can see they're short videos. You're going to want to watch those. Then you're going to see table of contents along the left side. And as you click on these, you either get a short video or you get some information to read. And we're going to focus on quarter 1, where you name your company, you look at your market, you choose which market segment, you figure out responsibilities, and you schedule the opening. Now, I'm going to tell you that students who take time to read through this are successful. When we get to getting started, once again, they tell you what to do. Then we come here, and you're able to come up with a name for your company, and then you can choose a graphic for your company. You'll notice there's a lecture and a story. The story gives you a brief information. The lecture gives you that same information in words. Whenever market research is given, for example, always look at this. This is telling, depending on which of the 3 markets, the numbers that are highest here are the things that those customers value as most important. So once you've decided which of your 3 categories you're going to begin with, desktop, high-end, or laptop, then you're going to look at these numbers, and when you design your product, you're going to design it based on those number information. They're going to tell you what price ranges. They're going to tell you how you are doing and what is going on in the 4 different cities as far as different markets. So just take time, and you'll choose one of these. That only allows you to choose one for your top priority to begin with. These are past students, but you're going to decide who's going to be what. Video, and then you always have this summary of decisions that you've made. Then there's a final check. Always run that. It'll let you know if there's errors or warnings, and then you do the submit. This week, don't do the submit until Friday, so you and your partner have a chance to also weigh in and save things and talk about things. But Friday of each week, Friday at noon, you and your partner need to submit this, or I'll be bugging you to get that done. All right? So if you have questions on this, let me know. Thanks for listening.